Hey dancers, it's Kirsten again, and you are back for, I'm assuming you've already watched the first one, part 2 of how to be a smart dancer. Now, if you haven't already watched the first video, you know the drill. Click the card here or in the link below. I will have that first video linked for you. Let's get on with the last 5 points of how to be a smart dancer. I'm excited to share them with you, and I also do want to just thank the generous sponsor of today's video, in addition to part 1 of this How to Be a Smart Dancer series, in addition to many other videos of mine, which is balletok.com. As you probably know and have heard, they sell Zerly tights, my favorite brand of tights. They are also kindly offering a $10 off discount code on your first order of Zerly tights using my discount code, which is in the description box. Also, another reason why you should get your Zerly tights from balletok.com is because they have a tights recycling program, which again, I've talked about. I think it's mind-blowing, amazing, exciting. You can get a free shipping label, mail in your old nasty tights you don't want to wear anymore, and get a discount code for new, lovely, amazing Zerly tights. So go click the link in the description, visit balletok.com, order yourself some Zerly tights. You will be grateful you did. Use my discount code, and that's it. Thank you again to balletok.com for sponsoring this video, and let's get into the last 5 points. Number 6 is smart dancers demonstrate self-awareness. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is that you demonstrate that you have an understanding of how your choices and your actions affects others. So, there are always dancers, I think we've seen, where they're just constantly asking questions that honestly just waste the class time. They just go to the corner and plant themselves in one spot, but they're not demonstrating that they understand they're covering another dancer up, or everyone's trying to fixate themselves around that dancer, but it's not really a functional pattern. Having an awareness of how your choices are affecting others is a part of self-awareness, and also having that awareness of how you are perceived by others can be helpful. Now, that can also go into the realm of self-consciousness, but just having a general comprehension of, for instance, how your body language can be perceived by others. If you're standing like this, that just shows to me that you either want to look really closed off and rude, or you're just not aware that you look that way. So showing self-awareness through having open and receptive, nice, confident body language, or just looking around for the pattern that other dancers are standing in to make sure you're not in the way. These little gestures go a long way in demonstrating self-awareness, which also allows teachers and other dancers to trust that you're going to be aware of what you need to do to, fit into a corps de ballet or do what is expected of you and then some. Number 7 is that to be a smart dancer is also to demonstrate adaptability. Things always change, whether it's on stage and you're dancing to live music and the tempo changes, or you get on stage and there's a lighting mishap. It's showing adaptability in even examples of God forbid somebody gets injured and you're asked to, or you volunteer to kind of step into their role. Showing that you are adaptable and on a certain level unfazed by certain challenges that arise, because you know that they will, and you always figure out a way to handle it and just do your best. That goes a long way in showing that you are an independent thinker. And I will reemphasize in this point, it is very important when you are being adaptable to show that you are more or less unfazed and you have a positive can-do attitude when challenges arise. Attitude does really lend itself to that self-awareness point. And if you show that you're that's a challenge, but yes, I can do it, and you just have that can-do attitude and that positive kind of energy about you, it does really go a long way in putting the choreographer, the teacher, the director at ease, okay, they can handle it. Point number 8 is that in order to be perceived as a smart dancer, it is also very important to demonstrate your reliability. And there are several different factors that contribute to this overall effect. First, your attitude. Honestly, I know a lot of dancers. I have known a lot in my day, in my training, and when I was in a company, I saw dancers that technically, yes, we all knew they could handle any role. Technically, they would be able to handle certain challenges and to usually perform consistently well. But their attitude, they brought the drama. They did not have that professional kind of demeanor. It is really important in order to be perceived as professional that you do kind of take your emotions out of it sometimes. On the inside, you could be like, I am so angry that the choreographer is changing the music for the third time. But if you demonstrate that outwardly, honestly, it just shows immaturity. The most professional person in the room, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be submissive and be okay with everything, but do know that if your overall objective is to advance in your career, to be given more opportunities, you do need to swallow some pills sometimes and just handle that anger, that frustration, that fear, whatever it is. Maybe you're dealing with some sad things in your personal life. It is really important as much as possible to consistently show you're there to focus, you're there to work. It doesn't mean you're always like, I'm good, but at the same time, bringing that drama into the studio and outwardly showing that you are angry at yourself for falling out of a pirouette, honestly, it just makes everyone really uncomfortable. You can feel that way towards yourself, but it does affect others, and it is especially really awkward as a teacher. I know from experience when a dancer is like really bringing their drama into the studio, since they're not explicitly saying, this is why I'm angry, this is what's bothering me, it is very easy to wonder, are they mad at me? Do I acknowledge it? Do I say something? Do I apologize for something? It's just weird. And so it's really important. Again, this ties into social and personal awareness, but also to be reliable emotionally, to show that you have a pretty consistently just objective and positive attitude. You're there to work, you know what you're there to do, and you do it. But then, of course, reliability also has to do with your performance. This is definitely some of what I help with as a mindset coach. Sometimes, what allows us to be consistently good performers as dancers is our mental state. If you have the ability to put fears and insecurities, self-doubt aside, you will be able to actually focus on what you're doing and consistently deliver a good final product in your dancing. I noticed that when I was training, I had a lot of insecurities in my later teen years that really turned into like crippling performance anxiety, and anytime like a director or someone important would come in the room, I would just like totally lose it and just not be able to do anything. And I realized that so much of being able to perform well consistently was mental. So if you are just constantly struggling with performing well in class, but then all of a sudden when you get into an audition or a show, you just totally freak and you can't really perform as well as you can technically, I would really encourage you to consider working with me as your mindset coach, because I have strategies from neuro-linguistic programming and then also just an understanding of how to coach dancers from my experience as well on how to shift their mindset to actually feel confident and comfortable in what is often perceived as stressful situations. So if you're interested in mindset coaching, click the link down below to my website, kirstenkip.com. You can schedule a free consultation, learn more about how my mindset coaching works, and we can work together. My next point is very simply spatial awareness. I don't think this is something I have to go into very much, but if you have, I will say like a good tip is generally, if you are wanting to be perceived as an intelligent dancer, you are going to take your focus more outward. You are going to have the presence of mind to be able to look around the room, use your spatial awareness, peripheral vision, all this stuff to be able to stay in line, to be able to focus on what the teacher is saying. And this really goes back to the importance of having confidence as a dancer, because confidence isn't being full of yourself. It's actually, I believe, self-forgetfulness. You're not constantly thinking about yourself because you're sure you're fine. You feel safe. You're sure that you're able to do what's expected of you. You're sure that you can handle challenges. You're sure that you are safe to just go for it and do your best rather than holding back because you're so worried, like, are people going to judge me? What are they going to think? What if I mess up? Thoughts of self-doubt and insecurities in general and just in general, like negative self-critical thoughts can so consume our conscious that we can turn our awareness so inward that you literally lack the ability to demonstrate awareness. You lack the ability to learn choreography quickly. And generally what I notice is dancers that are focused very inward, they're not able to practice these points that contribute to being perceived as a smart dancer. The last point that I'm going to share with you that contributes to being perceived as a smart dancer is knowing what you are going into the studio to do, keeping that intention at the front of your mind, and just going in, doing your job. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in, oh my gosh, what do they think about me? Are those dancers talking to me? Oh my gosh, what if I don't, like me when I was younger, what if I don't get Clara in the Nutcracker? You know, all this stuff. And we can make our dance journey about all these things that are genuinely like insignificant in the greater scheme of life. It could be getting so caught up in what you look like physically. I know that's a challenge and I don't want to belittle that, but so often it can be very, very easy as dancers to just get so absorbed in these details of, oh, I need to look like this, or I need that part. Oh my gosh, I need this teacher to like me. And that gets our focus into things that are so temporal, so temporary, so insignificant in the next 5 years. Just do what you're there to do. Remember why you dance and do it for that reason. That bigger picture perspective and connecting to kind of a higher purpose will pull you out of just that nitty gritty, small-minded stuff that we can get caught up in sometimes that then can divert our focus from what we're there to do. So dancers, I know this was a longer video, but I really, really hope it was helpful. It's a topic that I'm very passionate about, as you could probably see. So thank you so much for watching. Do give this video a like and share it with your friends if you did enjoy it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, but thank you again for watching, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye.